I get it. You're standing in front of the appliance aisle, scrolling through endless options, and the thought of picking the wrong washer-dryer combo keeps you up at night. You don't want to waste a few $100s on something that won't fit your space, your schedule, or your budget, and you're hoping the unit you finally choose actually makes laundry day easier, not harder. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, so you can see the exact dimensions and pricing before you decide. The LG WashTower is one of those all-in-one concepts that promise to replace a full-size washer and a separate dryer with a single stackable unit. On paper it looks sleek, a 5.0 cuffed front-load washer paired directly above a 7.4 cuffed heat pump dryer, both wrapped in a clean white finish and tied together with Wi-Fi connectivity, steam cycles, and LG's TurboWash technology. The idea is that you save floor space, eliminate the need to carry wet laundry across the room, and get smart alerts that tell you when a cycle is done. That sounds perfect for a small apartment, a busy family, or anyone who's tired of juggling two bulky machines. But before you picture yourself stacking socks and shirts into a single column, let's dig into what living with this tower actually feels like. First, space. The stackable design is undeniably space-saving. If you have a narrow laundry closet or a modest utility room, the footprint of the WashTower is roughly the same as a single front-load washer, so you free up a foot or two of floor space that would otherwise be taken by a side-by-side setup. That's a genuine win for condo dwellers or anyone dealing with a tight layout. The downside is that the unit is still tall, just over 6 feet, so you need a ceiling height that can accommodate it comfortably, and you'll want enough clearance behind the door for the dryer's venting system, even though it's a heat pump model that recirculates air. Next, daily usability. The washer's 5.0 cuffed drum can handle a standard family load of blankets, towels, or a weekend's worth of clothing without cramming. The TurboWash option claims to cut wash times by up to 30%, and in practice you'll notice that a normal mixed load cycle finishes in about 45 minutes instead of the hour plus you'd expect from a conventional front loader. That's handy when you're racing to get a load done before the kids get home from school. The dryer, being a heat pump model, runs slower than a conventional electric dryer, but uses far less energy. Expect a typical dry cycle to take an hour and a half to 2 hours, which feels long if you're used to the quick heat blast of a vented dryer. However, the lower energy draw translates to noticeably smaller electricity bills, especially if you do multiple loads a week. One of the smartest bits is the Wi-Fi integration. Using LG's ThinQ app, you can start a wash from the couch, receive a push notification when the cycle ends, and even diagnose error codes without pulling out the manual. I tried setting a delayed start while I was at work, and the machine obeyed the schedule perfectly, which meant the laundry was already done by the time I got home. For tech-savvy users, that remote control feels like a genuine convenience. On the flip side, the app can be a bit finicky if your home network is spotty. I experienced a couple of missed notifications when my router rebooted, so you'll need a reliable Wi-Fi connection to get the most out of the smart features. Now let's talk about who should actually consider buying this WashTower. If you're a small to medium household that values space efficiency, likes the idea of controlling appliances from your phone, and doesn't mind a slightly longer drying time in exchange for lower energy costs, this is a solid candidate. It also works well for renters who have a dedicated laundry closet and need a single footprint solution that can be unplugged and moved if you relocate. The steam function on the washer is useful for reducing wrinkles and odors, which can be a nice perk if you often wear performance fabrics that tend to retain smells. Who might want to skip it? If you have a large family that does massive loads of laundry every day, the 5.0 cuffed drum could become a bottleneck, and the heat pump dryer's slower cycle might leave you waiting for the next load. People who prioritize ultra-fast drying, like those who need a full load done in under an hour for a sports team or a daycare, will likely find the dryer's timeline frustrating. Also, if your ceiling height or utility room layout doesn't provide enough vertical clearance, you'll run into installation headaches that outweigh the space-saving benefits. From a value standpoint, the WashTower's price sits in the higher-end range for stacked units, which is why you'll want to weigh the long-term savings on electricity against the upfront cost. The heat pump dryer is the main cost driver. It's more efficient than a conventional dryer, but it also carries a higher price tag. The Smart Features ad.